Hey there, everybody. My name is Bob Cieslinski, and this is going to be a new series of videos I'm going to be doing on beginner band music. I'm going to go and I'm going to do tutorials and I'm going to review the beginner band songs, and I'm going to kind of take you through my process on what I'm looking for when I'm trying to pick beginner band music for my ensembles. I'm hoping that this series of videos helps you so that you'll be able to choose beginner band music that your kids are going to love and that you're going to love teaching them. This is going to be a review of some beginner band music, and I am going to go and I'm going to bring up one of these songs that we can go and we can review to try to help you to pick some band music that might be fun and yet still educational for your band kids. Tyrannosaurus Rocks. And I'm going to be doing this with my beginner band this year. And I think it's a great piece of music. It is a grade half piece of music, so which means it's made for beginner band. And I'm currently learning this. I'm currently teaching this with my beginners, and they're trying to learn this piece, and it's a really fun piece. It has a rock beat in with the percussion section, and it's really pretty easy piece. It uses their basic notes that they've been learning since the beginning. So you can see I just brought up this flute part, and the flute part, they do have to learn how to count multiple measures of rest. So that's kind of a neat thing to allow them to do. So they're going to go from B flat, and as we kind of scroll down through here, you're going to see that their top note in the flute section is going to be a high F. So we're basically going B flat, C, D, E flat, F, 5 notes. And you can see that a lot of this motion is scale-wise. And they're learning how to count rests. They're doing dynamic changes. And they even have some crescendos. I love this section right here at 23, where they get to play a 7-note pattern 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and it begins a 4th time, and each time they're getting just a little bit louder. So it teaches them to go from soft to loud. And then at the end we have this fermata and a grand pause, and we have different notes than what they're seeing in the key signature. So for the flute we have E natural. So that's kind of a nice thing that they're learning how to do that. So that's the flute part. I'm going to switch real quick here and try to get as many parts in as I can, just so you see as much of this song as you can. You know, it's nice listening to the pieces, but then, you know, hearing somebody who knows the piece kind of go through and talk about what's going on in the piece, what to look for. And I think it's just kind of a neat thing to have somebody to maybe go down through and do this. Because unless you go and buy the piece, you're not going to see the score. And I know I've been on YouTube and I've watched the videos that they post, and you can hear it, but you can barely see the notes on that page as it's flipping. So it's kind of nice to really see things here. Again, all of the instruments are going to be within that same range that we talked about with the flute. So they're going to be using about 5 notes, and then they'll throw in that 6th note at the end where it's out of the key. And this is the clarinets, and they're going C, D, E, F, and G. And they have the same dynamic changes, and everything's more scale-wise motion. And they have that section 23 where they get to play that 7-note pattern, which is great because you learn that 7-note pattern, then you can really think about, you know, these dynamic changes. They're also getting a taste of cued notes. So that's an option. The clarinets could play cued notes here at 31, which is the trumpet part. And then here's the notes for the clarinet. They add a new note. It's B flat for them. Trumpets are going to do the same thing. I'm going to jump to saxophone just so you could see their part. Okay, this is the saxophone. And again, multiple measures of rest, scale-wise motion, G, A, B, C, D, As we get down to 23, they are throwing in an F sharp for the saxophones, so they're going to have to do that. Some articulation, accents, it was in all the other parts too. Cued notes for them off of the French horn. And then F natural at the end. So this is also a really good piece for the saxophones where they're playing their normal F sharp that appears in the key of G, but then they also have to work on that first finger F, which can be confusing for saxophone players. Let's get up the trumpet part just so you can see the range here, and you can see it's very similar to the clarinet. C, D, E, F, G, all the other same things with dynamics and articulations. And then they're going to do F sharp at the end. Clarinets were doing B flat, trumpets are doing F sharp. So they're going to work on a middle valve F sharp. I want to bring up the low brass part. That way you can kind of see how their part's flowing against the other parts, where the other parts are moving in scale-wise motion, and it's just a nice little easy melodic line. And then you get to the low brass, and the low brass is kind of emulating a little bit what the percussion is doing with these parts here. They have multiple measure of rest, and then we've got the bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, and then it's a repeated pattern. So it's kind of nice. It sounds really cool. They've got this cool bass line that they're playing, but then it's kind of nice too, because once they learn that bass line, they just need to keep their place in the music, and it doesn't change so much. So they get this cool part, and they're able to play it at this age. It does have a change right here, so they are going to have to keep track of where they're at in the music, and these two measures here are going to lead us into 15, and then that pattern starts again, and then a couple measures before 23 we do another little bass line that is leading us into this 23. And then they're going opposite of the rest of the band. The band here had that 7-note pattern that they were gradually getting louder on. And the low brass has basically this 3-note pattern, and there's some repetition with the F. Bump, rest, 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 bump, rest, rest, bum, bum, bum. That's another cool little thing they're going to do against the rest of the band. And then you can see they come and they finish it off, and the low brass, somebody in the low brass can take this Tyrannophone solo, which is kind of neat. It's just this bah at the end. And you can pretty much pick anyone. I've done baritone, I've done trombone, and I've done tuba. If you get a tuba player, it's the best, but it all works. Let's go and let's check out the percussion part. That way you can kind of get an idea of what's going on with, the pulse of the song here. So it starts out with the bass drum. So you want to make sure you get a good bass drum player so that they can keep this nice steady beat for you. And then it goes into the rock beat here when we add the snare. Boom, boom, ta, boom, boom, ta, boom, boom, ta, boom, boom, ta, ta. Percussion repeats this. It's just steady all throughout. Occasionally they'll have something different. And then this is a really good opportunity to teach percussion about dynamics. Instead of just playing that loud volume that they tend to do, they have to work on playing soft or medium loud or playing a crescendo. And they also play at 23, 2 measures soft, and then it gradually gets louder every 2 measures. They do have this little part here. It's kind of a lead-in for everyone else, and they play it a little bit with the low brass section. So together they lead the whole band back in at 31. And then it's a nice opportunity for them to play a role in the snares in this song. It is kind of nice that Mike Hannickel thought about, what if you have a percussionist that's a little bit more advanced, or several. You could use that percussion 1 part or use this advanced part. And what you're going to see that's different is right here, where they throw in this set of 16ths, 8ths, 16ths, and you can see that carries over. And we also have 8th to 16ths. Now, I don't think most beginners who start in 4th grade or 5th grade are going to be able to handle that, but you might have one, you might have 2. It just depends on how advanced their skills are and how quickly they can get there, because at this time of year, maybe they've been playing for 5 months. Some might be ready for that, some might not. It's still difficult for them to keep a steady beat. But it is nice that you have that option if you do have someone like that. On the percussion 2 part, we have a tambourine. So now your kids get an opportunity to play some tambourine, and it's pretty easy. Eighth notes, quarter notes, and they get to do a roll at the end also. So the parts that we have timpani, percussion 2, advanced percussion 1, mallet. You've got euphonium, bass clef and tenor clef, tuba, trombone, trumpet 1 and 2, French horn, all the saxophones, bass clarinet, both clarinets, bassoon, oboe, flute. And in the comments below, make sure you put the names of beginner band songs. That way, I'll be sure to go and make a video about the song you chose. I hope you enjoy this series of videos, and thanks again. I really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to share this with friends too.